So UFC 320 fighting event is coming up here. Fight week has already started. And in this event, as we all know, Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev are going to fight for the light heavyweight title. A massive matchup. And this fight is going to be striker versus striker. A lot of people think Magomed Ankalaev is just a wrestler, but in reality, he's a very good striker. He has said that Alex Pereira is just an old kickboxer whom he will defeat very easily. Ankalaev looks extremely confident about this fight. On the other hand, Alex Pereira has made quite a lot of changes in his training camp since his last fight. If you compare his previous training camp with this one, you'll notice many differences. I've brought out some key insights for you all before this fight week. In this video, I'll break down what I've observed, whether Alex Pereira has advantages or not, and if Ankalaev calling him an old kickboxer is actually true. Has Alex really aged? Can he still win the title? We'll talk about everything in this video. But before that, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more UFC combat sports content in English. Combat sports is a very peculiar game. From the outside, it may look like just punching and kicking. But if you study fighters' styles, training methods, and fight patterns deeply, you'll find an entirely new level of excitement. Once you start noticing these patterns in actual fights, the experience of watching fights becomes next level. Now let's talk specifically about Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. Both are striking-based fighters. Yes, Ankalaev comes from Dagestan and does have strong wrestling credentials. He can wrestle when needed, but style-wise, both are strikers. The question is, who's the smarter striker? If you look back at their UFC careers, I personally don't consider Magomed Ankalaev a smart fighter, even though he is the current champion. For example, in 2022 against Jan Blachowicz, that was the fight where Ankalaev could have already become champion. But instead of fighting smart, he got into a leg kick battle with Jan. Blachowicz badly damaged his legs, and that title fight ended in a draw. Imagine a UFC title fight ending in a draw. Only when his coaches forced him to wrestle in the later rounds did he manage to recover. Otherwise, he could have lost. After that, his career slowed down, canceled fights with Johnny Walker, wasted time, and only in 2025 did he get another title opportunity. Now compare this with Alex Pereira. He joined the UFC after Ankalaev, fought in the middleweight division, created a huge rivalry with Israel Adesanya, became champion there, lost the belt, then moved up to light heavyweight, Ankalaev's division, and became champion before Ankalaev. This shows how smartly Pereira managed his career and how well UFC backed him. Add to that his glory kickboxing record, being a double champion there, these achievements helped him a lot. So clearly, Pereira has been the smarter fighter career-wise. But style-wise, both are strikers, but very different. Pereira is a traditional kickboxer with a long history in the sport. Kickboxers in MMA usually struggle when opponents close distance and clinch. That's exactly what happened in their first fight. Ankalaev kept Pereira tied up in the clinch for long periods, which caused exhaustion and frustration, preventing Pereira's striking game plan from working. In the first fight, Pereira's camp was very focused on wrestling defense. They wanted to prove he could stop Ankalaev's wrestling. And he did. Ankalaev couldn't complete a single takedown. But Pereira ended up losing the actual striking battle. Ankalaev's strategy worked. He disturbed Pereira's rhythm with his lead hand, pressured him against the wall, mixed in half-hearted takedown attempts, and overloaded Pereira with patterns he couldn't figure out across 5 rounds. That's why Pereira looked frustrated and not in his usual composed form. Kickboxers often face this problem in MMA. Ankalaev even said this time Pereira is a slow, old kickboxer with no speed. And honestly, Ankalaev does have more speed, good technical striking, good kicks, and solid power. Fighters like Johnny Walker who didn't respect his power paid for it. Now, why didn't Pereira use his leg kicks much in the first fight? even though they're one of his biggest weapons, especially his calf kicks. That's because he was focused on avoiding takedowns. Ankalaev is known to have weakness against calf kicks, but Pereira shifted away from that weapon to stuff takedowns instead. That defensive mindset hurt him in striking. So, what's different this time? Reports from Fight Week suggest Pereira has been doing a lot more hard sparring. Usually, fighters either spar regularly year-round or just during camp. But Pereira has been seen sparring actively even during Fight Week, which is rare. Sparring is essentially simulated fighting at near-fight intensity. Many say you can drill as much as you want, but without sparring, you won't get the real fight feel. Pereira believes sharpening tools with sparring will help him avoid being frustrated again like in the first fight. Of course, sparring has risks, brain damage, unnecessary wear, which is why some fighters like Max Holloway and Tony Ferguson don't spar much. But for Pereira, hard sparring may be beneficial this time. Last time he looked rusty in striking against Ankalaev. Now he wants to stay sharp and ready for every scenario. So, brothers, the question is, who wins this rematch? Will Pereira overcome the old kickboxer label and show something new? Or will Ankalaev once again outsmart him with pressure, speed, and technical striking? You can share your predictions in my Telegram channel. Link is in the pinned comments. And tell me in the comments, is Ankalaev right that Pereira has slowed down? Or will Pereira surprise us with adjustments? If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next update.